I'm going to talk to you about nutrition and the mindset behind nutrition. So as you can see on the board behind us, what I've got is a baseline, and this is the percentage of what you're going to stick to your diet. And everybody's on this at some stage, and what we generally find is that prior to implementing the program, people are in one of two camps. They're either at 0% over here or 100% over here, and we'll yo-yo in between them, yo-yo diet. And I'm sure this is resonating for a lot of people, what I'm about to say. So when we're down here at 0%, we're eating whatever we want, we're not tracking, we've got no clue what's going in, we're feeling pretty crap because we're eating loads of rubbish, we're bloated, feeling a bit slow, etc. Then we'll get sick of feeling crap, so we'll think, right, I'm going to have to get back on it. So we'll go all the way up to the other end of the scale and we'll come to 100%, where we give up everything that we think we're not supposed to have, and that's detrimental to our health. And although initially we'll probably do feel better because we're cleaned up, we're not bloated and stuff, what ultimately happens is we eventually start feeling pretty crap there as well. And this is because we feel as though we're missing out on life, whether that's going out with your partner or your friends, or having a takeaway on a weekend, or whatever it is that you feel as though you're missing out on. So ultimately we feel pretty crap up here as well, which then leads to what we're going to call falling off the wagon and going back down to eating loads of takeaways, not tracking, having no idea what we're doing, and just generally doing what we want. So, as I've said, this is a percentage timeline of where you are on your diet, on your nutrition plan. So what we need to do is pick somewhere that's better for it to be. So where will we go? We'll go 50% to start. So if you're sitting at 50%, so you're putting 50% of the good stuff into you and 50% of the, we'll call them everyday foods, normal life foods. What we've got to understand is that if you're putting in 50% effort, your result is going to reflect that. If you only put in 50%, you will only get 50% back out. Does that kind of make sense to people? So for me, if I wanted to be super duper lean, for example, I would need to be up here on the 190% in order to achieve like 10% body fat. And to me, what I would have to sacrifice in order to stay there wouldn't be worth it. So we need to evaluate where we want to be, how much our results and healthy lifestyle mean to it, versus what we'll be giving up, because everything's sacrifice, right? So on the other end of the scale, if going out with my friends and doing all the things that I wanted to do, and afternoon teas and etc., and I was here, I wouldn't be happy there either, because the amount of weight I would gain, how I would feel overall, because I'm not getting the good stuff in, would be enough of an indication for me that I need to go further back up this way. So does that make sense? This way I would be missing out on my life too much for me to be able to stick to it. This way I would be gaining weight and unhappy, because I'm not putting in enough effort. Does that make sense? Does that like ring true to you? So what we've found is that generally speaking, the best place to be is at about 70%. This means we're getting 70% of the good stuff and 30% of what we're going to call real life foods. And with this sort of ratio, we've found most people can really quite happily stick to this. It's really, really achievable, and it's in line with getting pretty good results for people's health and fitness goals. Right, so what we have to remember is what we're looking for is longevity and long-term results. So if for one day, say we're going to go to afternoon tea that I've kept mentioning, we can tell where I want to go. If we do go to afternoon tea and we drop down to this 20%, if it's only for one day, that's okay. What we need to do is get back up to this 70-30% as soon as possible. Because it's longevity and consistency that will get you your results, not what you do on one day. It's what you do on the days around it. So if your baseline is here, where you are the majority of the time is down there, that's not going to get you the results that you want. What we need to do, if we're here consistently, we're going to get good results. But one day down there isn't going to get bad results, just like one day up here isn't going to get good results. I'm hoping this is still making sense. This is the difference between somebody getting long-term fat loss and someone who keeps on yo-yoing. And what we want to do is we want to get you results of long-term fat loss. So what I'd like you to do is look at the baseline, look at your baseline, see where you are, and then have a look and think about where you want to be, set that, and we're going to stick to it.